How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about former Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick throwing his name in the ring to become yet another 2020 Democratic presidential hopeful. Now, there is a whole lot to quote-unquote unpack here, as the cool kids would say. I mean, we got Barack Obama involved, we got Joe Biden involved, we got the subprime mortgage crisis involved, we got all kind of different things that are going on here. Even Mitt Romney will be brought up in this particular video. But let's start from the very beginning so you know who Deval Patrick is, and then I'll get through all of his connections, make this story pretty interesting. Now, Deval Patrick is a guy from Southside Chicago, grew up poor, went to Harvard Law School. I think another guy went to Harvard Law, but we get to that in a moment. He is a businessman. He has worked with several different companies throughout the years. He worked with Texaco, Chevron, Coca-Cola from 2004 until 2006. Before he became the governor of Massachusetts, he was on the board of ACC Capital Holdings. Now, they were the parent company of two important mortgage companies, Ameriquest and Argent Mortgage. Ameriquest was the leading lender of subprime mortgages, meaning he was on the board of a company that owned another company that was instrumental in the 2008 mortgage crisis. Okay, that's this guy. He also had some corruption while he was a governor. There were some monies that were diverted into an account, just some weird things that didn't really go too well. He was a governor in Massachusetts from 2007 until 2015. Who was the guy in office before him as a governor? Just take a little bit. Maybe you forgot. One, Mitt Romney from 2003 to 2007. Also, after he was a governor in Massachusetts, he went to work for, take a little guess. Okay, you got Mitt Romney. He was a governor before him. So where did he go work after 2015? Bain Capital. Okay. Now, I remember during the Barack Obama versus Mitt Romney election cycle, there was this whole big thing about Bain Capital causing cancer and death, all this, that, and the third. So it'd be a pretty easy thing for Trump to attack this guy about working at Bain Capital, also working at ACC Capital Holdings for being instrumental in the subprime mortgage crisis. Okay, it'd be really easy to get that whole thing off. That's the first thing I got to talk about. But the second thing is his connections. Let's go back to Barack Obama. Like I said, Deval Patrick is from Chicago, which is Barack Obama's adopted hometown, because we all know he did not grow up there. He grew up in Indonesia first, then Hawaii, but different story. I digress. Chicago was where he lived for I don't know how many years, like 20 years. He began his political career there. He has known Deval Patrick since he was trying to do fundraising and trying to get himself going in Chicago as a political figure. Okay, that's one thing. The second thing is, word on the street says David Axelrod tried to get Deval Patrick to run for the presidency in 2020, but at the time his wife was sick. He didn't want to do it. Barack Obama also tried to get him involved. It might have been the same excuse or a different one. Whatever the case may be, he didn't want to do it up until now. Word on the street also says that Barack Obama tried to convince Biden to not run. Okay, now it's pretty clear why he would say that. I mean, if you've been observing Joe Biden on the campaign trail, he doesn't look too good at all. This man is what, 76 or 77 years old, is losing his cognitive function, doesn't really know who he is, where he is. Obviously, he is in failing mental condition, maybe even physical condition. He is not fit to run, but Deval Patrick is only 5 years older than Barack Obama. Obama's 58. Patrick is 63. So they're right pretty much in the same age group. Barack Obama is like 18 years younger than Joe Biden. They did not know each other before the presidency. They became friends throughout the presidency, but not much more than casual acquaintances, quite frankly. Deval Patrick is his friend. Deval Patrick is his guy. So I have no doubt in my mind that Barack Obama is behind this. Now, that's going to be a big slap in the face to Joe, because Joe Biden was Barack Obama's vice president for 8 years, 2 terms of the presidency. If anybody should get an endorsement or backing, it should be Joe Biden. But like I said, Barack Obama tried to get Joe Biden to not run, according to the word on the street, which makes sense because you see him right now. So I think the end game is going to be Joe Biden just continuously dropping down and down and down until he becomes no longer relevant. The Democrats do want somebody else. I mean, the obvious ticket would be, like I've said many times before, Michelle Obama and Oprah Winfrey. You got two black women. Okay, so you got everything. You got female, the first female, then you got two black women, so you got the intersectional thing going on. You have the former first lady and a recognized household name in Oprah Winfrey. It'd be easy, slam dunk. They don't want to run apparently, but Deval Patrick, hey, closest thing you can get to those people. All right, that's Barack Obama's friend. He kind of might even resemble Obama in certain ways. So it'd be easy for him to try and push that. Now, the problem would be he does not have name recognition. So you're not going to be able to convince a lot of people to get behind him, in my humble opinion. You know, maybe Money's able to do it, but you're kind of in the 0 hour. He should have been trying to get himself prepared earlier, like what Kamala Harris and Cory Booker were doing. Although their efforts were kind of just in vain, they did not have the luxury of being friends with Barack Obama. I'm talking about 30-year friends, long time, ever since college, ever since before they even became anybody, when they were just kids, basically. That's how long they known each other. So they don't really have that luxury, but Deval Patrick does. Now, although he has a record of some corruption, he has some shady business dealings, this would be interesting to see how it shakes the Democratic race up. Right now, it's kind of at a stalemate. I don't think it's really going to go anywhere anytime soon. You got guys dropping out. You got guys basically needing to drop out that have not dropped out yet. So we'll see what happens next. I'm still seeing Hillary Clinton kind of just stalking around, not really wanting to go away, talking about, oh, I don't really want to run, but it's a tremendous pressure on my back to run, this, that, and the third. So she's not really being forceful in her objection of wanting to run or not. So she could just pop up 0 hour, looking like Weekend at Bernie's, being drugged through the campaign trail. Maybe, but I doubt it. I think Deval Patrick can make some noise, but I think the bigger thing about him running would be the end of Joe Biden. He's pretty much already done already. All you got to do is just kick him off the ledge and let him just freely fall down to the earth and not come back anymore. After that happens, I think the clear and straightaway front runner would be Pocahontas, a.k.a. Elizabeth Warren. The Democrats don't want her because of the wealth tax and stuff like that. So it's going to be funny to see what happens at the end of the day. As I close, I think that the winner here is going to be Donald Trump. You're seeing the left become a little bit more fractured and panicked as the 0 hour approaches, where you got to go through the primary, you got to get the nominee, and you got to, really start hitting the campaign trail with your nominee and try to defeat the current president. I think they know it's going to be very hard to go about this in a legitimate fashion. The Democrats say this. So they got to do things like the fake impeachment, the sham impeachment, to try and sully Trump's name and to bolster their own people through the media, which they own, through the internets, which they pretty much own. Okay. So I guess it'd be up to us to keep the same energy we had in 2016 and reelect Donald Trump, so the left can't do their little chicanery and put whoever they want in there to install a president or whatever the case may be. This whole thing about Deval Patrick is interesting, but I think what it would do is just shake up the race in a different way rather than putting him in the front. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that Deval Patrick has a chance? Do you think that Barack Obama will endorse this man? I think that he might. If he gets any kind of name recognition, if he gets out there a little bit, if they put him on a debate stage, I think he'll endorse him. And the reason would be to get Joe Biden out. And quite frankly, I think Joe Biden does need to get out, regardless of whether it's some kind of thing from the left to try and force him out. He should just go out voluntarily. He does not look good on a campaign trail at all. I'm sorry. I don't care if he was on the left, right. I would just call it for what I see. He does not look well. But am I wrong here? Do you think that Deval Patrick has a chance of becoming the front runner, even though he's like basically at the 0 hour coming in as an unknown person? Like I said, if you were to put Michelle Obama and Oprah Winfrey in there at the 0 hour, it'd be an easier thing to sell because they already have name recognition. But what about this guy? I'm not really sure. Whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.